Welcome to the lovely late IHP show with your very own 5D mystic on this Leo day, which I found out is the astrological sign that is all about love. So let's celebrate love and let's also celebrate collaboration. So that's where I'm an Aquarius. I love being an Aquarius, and in fact 11 ascension expansion energies. So what happens with twin flame or flames? Well, we get the opportunity to choose love and to be yourself. That's very straightforward, thanks Jesus. So Christ consciousness, the human love narrative, is for those who do embrace the integrated brain, the capacity to be a person who understands that every person begins life as a 1-year-old. And I'm attachment trauma informed. And so that 1-year-old, well, if they're like the Billy Joel song, I've been walking in the night, no, right? And he's searching for that something sacred that he lost in a river, and he's getting tired. And then you find out that the people who have this stuff, and this stuff is important, but I see a lot of Pinocchios out there. And those are the shame cycle people. And the Pinocchios follow Peter Pans and they're lost boys, and they're all with Strombolis. And so on YouTube land, there's a group of people that aren't doing that. And then there's a group of people, they talk about love. And in fact, Stephen Porges doesn't publish his book on what love actually is because the active publishers said no one's going to buy it. And I'm like, well, they don't know all 8 billion people, but I don't know the statistics. So what I do know, though, is that everyone has a 1-year-old. And when you tell them, that's something sacred that we all have because we're all children from the same entity, same energy. So I learned about God and brothers and sisters as a Christian, Catholic Christian. And then I didn't realize that everyone who talked about Jesus would turn into, well, what I do not in any way, shape, or form understand because I didn't get any of it from catechism, not even a little bit. And so to hear people talking about yoga bringing demons out of you makes me think of the lack of education. So I'm going to say lack of education and ignorance. But then I saw a bunch of other people with dresses talking about Sadhguru, who is a spirituality guru who has us promising to love all people unconditionally and to work with the ecosystem. And the sentence that came out of the mouth of the human being who was being interviewed in TV, and I don't usually watch the box because, the masses. Why would I watch that TV stuff? I mean, I watch some TV, but really, the fact is it's based on survival mode. Don't you notice, like Jerry Springer, is it? I don't remember, but all that fighting, it's all survival mode. And a whole 1-year-old doesn't like to see any of the sympathetic stuff because, our nervous system likes to be in the rest and rejuvenate. So we didn't lose that something sacred, which is why people think that we don't know what we're talking about, but some of us, we actively do. So what I know is that Pinocchio fizzles out and ends with a sympathetic that is your energy, because you have the stuff called, oh, look, my body keeps a score and my brain keeps a count. We talked all about it. So human love narrative. There are people who don't choose it. Yeah, I know, right? You'd think they would because it's all over the internet, but people actively are afraid of human beings self-diagnosing with PTSD. I saw this sentence like, wow, that's a lot of not compassion. I guess you're tired of hearing people with trauma. You don't understand human suffering, I suppose. That is true though. People are like, I don't want to do personal development, Maria. I want life now. So I've heard that after people doing therapy. So, I say it makes sense that people don't want to choose gooey, ooey, ooey, because it seems so hard to stay centered on what I got taught by Jesus and God, which is be humble. Check. You don't know everything. Check. Don't desire that which others have, or however those 10 basic commands. Yeah, check. None of it said don't do yoga and it brings demons out of you. So everything else that was added above the basics, moral principles, even those who don't have faith can have basics. I'm just saying. So, I scratch my head and think, let's see, if you are a person who is about human love, welcome aboard. You know that emotions are a reflection of you, the deep you, and you get to handle them and self-regulate and be accountable and then be aware and share them with me if we're building what is a loving relationship. And yes, you do review your responsibilities. That is, you regulate your nervous system and bring to me your feelings, and I bring to you mine and our thoughts. And we're not 14-month-olds who think based on our likes and dislikes. We don't do the karma stuff, the unconscious. We actively have, oh, my body, unconscious stuff comes up. Oh, my conscious, my left. So we work here at IHP, at least. I share with you again, self-help, personal development. It's people who want to do love. So with twin flames, we don't have sagas. We have choice points. I'm love and I'm unconditional. What are we going to do? Well, in order for you to accept unconditional love means you need to know how to be yourself. Time to remember. Look back on your childhood. Did you get unconditionally loved? So, did you get lovingly accepted for all of what you were, 1, 2, and 3? Did you get to laugh and get mad and all those basic 6 emotions without being suppressed or shamed and frightened by the bejesus of you? Do you have a good relationship with all emotions? And humans, all humans, not just some. So for me, what Jesus shared with me was very easy. Forgive, turn the other cheek, and in fact, spite is a very low energy. So I've met the teenagers, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And I didn't do spite, but I could play with words. And I noticed that those teenagers, they would say it's not personal, but they would have hurt feelings like I would. And I'm like, you know what? I mean, I have hurt feelings, but it isn't personal if I keep my heart open. Actually, you know what? It works really great because at the end, your words are just words. They're like thin air. So sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me because, yeah, it is a muscle. Wow, that was really great. So my 3 years of life was really great. And I did not go at it alone. Reach out for support. Though I reach out to people who are unconditionally loving because that means they're expanding piece of consciousness and they follow Jesus for real. So they know all people are human love. Even the human suffering are human love. But the human suffering, well, when solar flares activate, yeah, they don't do so well with those trauma charges. That's because if you're not self-aware and you're not self-accountable and you don't know how to self-regulate, you're going to project. You know what projection is? You don't know your North Star. So when you don't know the sense of self of you and you don't know how to handle your emotions and basically you don't believe that the first 3 years of your life have any impact on you whatsoever, you're going to say, I find it hard to believe that humans are kind. Or compassionate for that matter. And then they go and pick at everything else that's going on. And I'm focused on one thing alone. You get to heal one human being at a time and one relationship at a time. But we do more than healing because healing starts with the EMDR, child parts work, and somatics for those who are serious about this self. So it's once you know yourself that you say, oh, look, I can do personal development because I can do that thing called a third of attuning to my own nervous system and repairing ruptures from my own nervous system because those basic emotions is when rupture happens. Doesn't anybody know about ruptures or splinters? So let me explain. Ruptures or splinters are when you have arguments. I come from an Italian Neapolitan household. You should see our dynamic. And the years I've become more and more enamored with my passionate human beings because I love to be passionate and loud. I really don't like formalities at all. And then I realized that most men and women don't know how to tell you shit in your face at all, like not even a little bit. So it's like, wow, twin flames or not, it doesn't matter. They still don't know how to be pachas. So cowardice are Cuscos. They don't know how to say, here's what I feel, here's what I think all the time. I should specify. Consistency is key for you to have the capacity to be yourself authentically and to collaborate. Yeah, collaboration means that you actively tell me the truth, not lies. Integrity. It's pretty straightforward. It's not about perfection at all, which is why when people meet the personalities that are like this, healthy self-worth, yeah, they don't believe in it. So we're okay with people saying, oh, that's a fake smile. Oh, you know what? She's a bitch. Oh, look, she's an evil witch. Oh, look, she's an evil something. All that word, evil, 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 evil. Wow. Anyone want to blame Lucifer for some more things? I'm going to say blame is part of the shame cycle, which is what people don't realize. The adaptive child's behavior pattern, which is a circle. It's like a wheel on the bus, goes round and round. So whenever I meet a teenager, I know who they are. By the time I'm done engaging with you, I don't bother with that because really a pattern gets pretty boring and there's only like so many Peter Pans out there. You're amazed. I'm amazed at the lack of imagination and education by a lot of human beings when they come up with stories. With the twin flame, I knew what was becoming trending. I didn't realize people didn't realize that it's a choice of I can say I unconditionally love you. It's called compersion. Nobody gets left behind. That's for the Diego type family from Ice Age. So people who abandon people and they don't text them back and they objectify them, men, women, it's not gender specific. It's called Human Suffering Love Group. Some, once they get to therapy, they know how to become a grown-up and an actual person of integrity. That's nice. And then others don't, and that's still nice because at least they're living life. And we might have a take 2 for this late IHP show on this day of love. So we honor all people. And I know one thing Jesus and God taught me. Stay in your place, be humble, work with your peeps. I love collaborating with the smart human beings out there who know all about human love and they know about Leo. They shine, not the grandiose people. Those are not human beings who have self-esteem. They have low self-esteem. They just look good to the ones who have low self-esteem like they do. Yes, the wool gets pulled over the people who don't reclaim their inner child. So we do. Be yourself. Tune in.